You've probably saved a screenshot because you didn't trust someone to leave the truth alone. Marion Stokes did that with television. On December 14, 2012, in Philadelphia, she died at 83, and for the first time in decades, no one changed the tapes. The televisions stopped glowing. The VCRs stopped waiting. The apartment, once filled with constant recording, finally went quiet. Then, people found what she had left behind. Not a diary, not a few family boxes, 71,716 videotapes. And suddenly, the question changed. Was this a woman lost inside an obsession, or someone who understood that if reality isn't recorded, it can be rewritten? Marion Stokes wasn't just a woman who watched too much TV. Before the tapes took over her life, she had already lived close to information. She was a librarian, a political activist, and a television producer in Philadelphia. In the late 1960s, she helped produce a local program called Input, where people talked about birth control, pollution, student unrest, and race. So television wasn't background noise to her, it was power. It decided what people saw, what they repeated, and what they forgot. That matters, because when home video recorders appeared, most people saw a machine for saving shows. Stokes saw something else. A way to catch the public record before it vanished. At first, it could have looked harmless. One tape, one program, one news segment worth keeping. Then came the day when one story stopped feeling temporary. On November 4th, 1979, the Iran hostage crisis began. The news didn't just report it once and move on. It kept changing. Hour by hour, the story shifted, grew, and returned to the screen. That was the moment Stokes began systematically recording television news. And she didn't stop. As cable news expanded, so did the system. CNN, C-SPAN, business shows, interviews, talk shows, commercials, mistakes, pauses, the ordinary noise between major events. She wanted the whole stream, not just the headline. The ritual had a body. A tape could run for about 6 hours. Then someone had to replace it, late at night, in the morning, during dinner, during ordinary life. If she wasn't home, someone else had to help. Think about that. Most of us have saved one message because we were afraid someone would deny it later. She built a life around that fear. The tapes multiplied. VCRs ran in different rooms. Boxes filled the walls. Space disappeared under proof. And this is where the story becomes uncomfortable. From the outside, it looked easy to explain. She was obsessed. She was collecting too much. She couldn't let go. But that explanation was too small. Because after her death, those boxes were not treated like trash. They were sent to the Internet Archive. What looked like clutter in an apartment became evidence in an archive. The mechanism here isn't a diagnosis. It's a way to understand the pattern. Psychologists call one version of it compensatory control. In plain English, when the world feels unstable, people create systems that make something feel fixed again. For Marion Stokes, the system was recording. If a broadcast disappeared, the tape kept it. If a story changed, the earlier version still existed. If someone later said that wasn't how it happened, the machine had already answered. And here's the detail that changes the story. Television networks didn't always preserve the full stream the way viewers might imagine. Broadcasts could be lost, taped over, cut down, or separated from their original context. So the strangest part wasn't only that Stokes recorded so much television. The strangest part was that almost no one else was saving it like that. This is also where another psychological mistake appears. We often explain behavior by character before we ask what function it served. Most of us won't leave behind 71,716 videotapes. But the instinct is familiar. You save a screenshot after an argument. You keep a voice note. You download a post before it's deleted. Not because you love evidence, but because you don't fully trust disappearance. That doesn't mean every act it's saving is unhealthy. Sometimes it's reasonable. Sometimes it's protection. But if your life starts organizing itself around proof, that may be a signal. Not a diagnosis, a signal that trust has been damaged somewhere. Marion Stokes recorded television. We record each other, not always because we trust memory, but because we don't trust disappearance. So here's the question. Do you save things because you want to remember? Or because you're afraid someone will deny what